practical sense. They witnessed something real, and that's meeting practical sense, because we can remember when we take observed phenomena, bring it to laboratory, show that it's repeatable. That's science. It does not matter if it comes from clay tablets, papyrus, Bible, anywhere. You faked it, it's going to tell us you faked it. If it's real, it's going to tell us you saw something that matches all the laws that's governing the universe. Another one we can point out. Joshua's long day.
Okay.
For millennium, scientists have been laughing at that, because they said, how is that possible? How can the Earth stop? You'd have waters going across all the continents. Well, let me tell you how the models tells us it happens.
Okay.
It reaches a point, and the tail points opposite of the sun. The path of it is coming in front of Earth. Earth has a circular orbit around. Its path is going to take it right in front of Earth by about 2 hours ahead of us, okay? But the tail is pointing at Earth because it's pointing opposite of the sun. The illuminated tail, comet-like tail.
Right.
There's two camps of thought presently in the science community on what's ruling the universe. Astronomers say the main force is gravity, but the physicists say it's electromagnetic, and the Bible is proving out
hold that
it's
right there, Gil.
electromagnetic.
Okay, well, hold that right there at electromagnetic, and we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Right before the break, Gil, you were starting to talk about physicists.
Yes.
Believe and the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's two camps of thought on what is the ruling power that's running our universe. Is it gravity that's moving our planets, or is it electromagnetic? The astronomers say it's gravity, and the physicists say it's electromagnetic. The model proves out that it's electromagnetic in nature, because the tail, a comet tail, astronomers are saying that it's water vapor from ice. The physicists say that it's a electromagnetic field of the planet or object reacting with the solar winds, compressing it, and making a coma, which is a plasma tail, similar to a neon light. That's how a neon light would work, okay? And that's why we see such a pronounced bright tail. Well, if that's true, then to prove out which one would be right, if the tail is pointing at Earth when it gets between us and the sun, and we're entering water vapor, then nothing should occur. But if we're entering a plasma tail, the plasma will stop electrical energy going into the north and south pole from the sun at a rate of 4.5 to 5.5% compounded hourly. Okay? Within 24 to 28 hours of entering it deeper and deeper into the plasma tail, Earth would come to a complete stop in its rotational spin. Okay? And then that would cause a 12-hour longer day, as quoted in Joshua's long day. Then it states roughly, this is outside Middle Eastern text that gives us more data on Joshua's long day. It states that roughly 2 to 3 hours later was a meteorite shower, and the text in the biblical text tells us it took out more of the enemy than they did with a sword, and that was within the vision of Joshua and his army. That's a meteorite shower. Now,
Okay.
The other text also gives us additional data. It says him and his army saw an object that was 50 times larger than the moon. That's the viewpoint of Earth. That's not the object side. That's the viewpoint of the object from Earth. Well, if you take an object 7 times the diameter of Earth, place it halfway between the moon and Earth, you would get a visual perspective of 50 to 1. You'd also get a meteorite shower 2 to 3 hours later. You would also get Earth slowing down and Earth being delayed by 12 hours. The model proves this out.
Okay.
I actually took that model, brought it to the university, showed a physics professor. He took a minute to study the model, and he turned to me and says, I'm the first one to ever explain this incident logically.
That's interesting.
So
we'll just call you Spock.
Okay.
Spock?
Well,
Dr. Spock? Oh, wait, Spock from Star Trek. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, my ears are not quite as pointy. Okay, so this is happening multiple times in the Bible of eyewitness account that the model proves out with physics, with math, with Kepler's law of the planetary motion, that you cannot fake. You just can't fake this. Okay, and if we bring it into the model, we reproduce the phenomena, we show it's repeatable, that's science. Someone says there's no science in the Bible, they're wrong. There's absolute science. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit more advanced than ours because it already nailed that the Earth is electromagnetic. I mean, the universe is ruled by electromagnetic, not gravity. You see? So, we have a serious problem. It's occurred in the past.
So what does that mean to Earth? Okay, we'll hold that thought.
Yeah, hold that thought, what it means. Okay, hold that. We're up for long break, Gil, and then we'll be back with a long segment. So we'll see you on the other side. Thanks for tuning in to the Truth Traveler. Welcome back to the Truth Traveler. Again tonight we're starting to discuss Planet 7F. And right before the break, Brad had asked what it means for Earth. I'd like to get into that, and then I've got a question too, Gil, if you can answer that one.
All right. What is that?
What does this mean for Earth? That was Brad's question. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as Planet 7 is approaching, we're going to have some effect, and as it's going towards the sun, correct. I mean, how bad is this effect going to become? And then as we have the tail pointing towards us, what is that, and how bad will that be?
Well, as far as the effects, we've already seen it since it's entered our solar system. It takes roughly on the orbit of Neptune on the outer edges of our solar system, according to Kepler's law of the planetary motion, with the size of 7 times the diameter. The model tells us it takes 16 years for it to reach the sun. Then, well, another thing our model proved to us that when we turned on where the Voyager and Pioneer probe went, that's the same area of space. So it appears that they made instrument contact in 92 and 93. And by that time, about year 2000, he reached the edge of our solar system. Now, as it approached, you could see the escalation of our earthquakes in frequency and intensity as several times higher. Our volcanic activity, fish kills, and because of the release of methane when the rocks are shattered and moving, or the vegetation at the bottom of a lake is shaken, it will release the methane, and that's why you see fish and bird kills. They're super sensitive to methane. Humans are not. Methane is odorless, so at least no telltale signs of it.
Right.
So we are seeing the signs as it approach, and these are getting and more or they're more intense.
Right.
Now, when it
so if I go out and I dig me a survival shelter in the ground, will that protect me as it comes through? I mean, next year or
only to a
you know what
certain
I'm
degree,
saying?
and only in the right area of Earth, because according to the models that I can reproduce, according to the data that the Bible is predicting, I'm not in the predicting business, but I'm looking at what it's predicting to see if it's logical in a model. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tells me that these books in the Bible are not random. It's giving us an end result. Each story is giving us data to piece together what the end result would be, because it made a comment that this will be the worst time for Earth in its history of Earth. Knowing Noah's flood, that's pretty an extreme statement. That's an extreme statement.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as it approaches, Earth is going to enter into the plasma field slowly, losing its rotational speed at 5.5%, eventually coming to a stop. That model, there's only a biblical model. There's no outside model for scientists to use. Therefore, they will predict the wrong half of the Earth being hit by a meteorite shower. A meteor shower. They will predict the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. That's 2/3 of the continental crust. Bible clearly tells us a model that it's 1/3. Now, because of the next war in the Middle East, which is Steel 4, Steel 3 is economic collapse. Steel 4 is there's a war, pandemic disease, and some other things. Well, that war is associated with what's coming up. You can see it in the news between Israel and Syria and Iran. Well, Iran put its troops behind our lines. They're in our country. If they see any attack, then they'll go into play. They're going to do their terrorist activities. Okay, so that's that part of that scenario. But that's going to make the model that when it comes time, remember Job and Nineveh, where he gave 40-day warning to Nineveh, but he didn't perform a single miracle. The reason why he didn't have to perform a single miracle, and they believe, he had to point to the sky. In 40 days, it's rounded the sun. Now it's coming at us. You can clearly see it. That's what the model shows. That's the same model that Yeshua mentioned, says for wicked and sinful generation, they will have only the sign of Jonah in the end times. Okay?